Welcome aboard this extraordinary aerial adventure, where we explore the world from a perspective few get to witness. For the next hour, you'll be soaring high above cities, oceans, deserts, and mountains, every scene unfolding before you in stunning detail. From the moment we take off, the ground below will transform into a living canvas of color and shape. Cities that seem like tiny dots will grow into sprawling landscapes. Rivers that appear as thin lines will reveal their true grandeur. This is not just a journey, it's a new way of seeing the world. Keep your eyes open because you won't want to miss a single moment. As the plane lifts off the ground, the first thing you'll notice is how everything seems so small from up here. Buildings become tiny, and even large streets look like thin ribbons stretching into the distance. The cars and people below, so full of life, seem insignificant from our high vantage point. But don't let their size fool you. These bustling streets are the lifeblood of cities. They carry energy, movement, and life that pulse through every corner of the world. As we climb higher into the sky, take in the vastness below. Each scene we pass tells a story of history, growth, struggle, and progress. The landscape changes rapidly as we leave the urban sprawl behind. Cities grow smaller beneath us, and the transition from the urban jungle to the open countryside is remarkable. Look at that sprawling city below, endless roads stretching far and wide, each one connecting a part of this vibrant urban tapestry. From above, the people are like tiny dots, but together they create a symphony of life. The traffic flows smoothly, while towering buildings reflect the sunlight, casting long shadows across the streets. The bustling energy of city life is evident even from this height, yet from up here, the chaos becomes calm. Every street corner, every rooftop, tells a different story. You might not hear the cars honking or the people talking, but you can feel the energy radiating from below. The city itself is a living organism. From above, you'll notice how the grid of streets forms an intricate web, connecting various neighborhoods, parks, and commercial centers. It's as though the entire city is connected by invisible threads of movement, light, and sound. This connection is vital to the rhythm of life. Imagine the heartbeat of a city, the constant pulse of activity, the ebb and flow of its people, the gathering and dispersing of crowds. Every block, every neighborhood, holds a piece of the puzzle that makes up the larger picture. As we move along, the city expands, revealing new details, secrets, and hidden gems. From this high vantage point, the once bustling streets below become almost serene, a calming calmness emerging as you begin to see the city from a different perspective. The familiar buildings are transformed into a kind of abstract art as you start noticing the patterns in the architecture, the angles of the rooftops, and the subtle shift in colors as the sunlight reflects off the surfaces. Each building tells a story of its own, shaped by the people who built it, the businesses that inhabit it, and the memories that have accumulated in its walls. As we glide across the city, notice how the urban landscape changes. In some areas, the buildings seem to almost merge with one another, creating towering structures that seem like monoliths against the sky. While in other sections, the buildings stand apart like proud giants, each one holding its own space in the skyline. This dynamic, ever-evolving landscape is a perfect reflection of the rhythm of life itself. Even as the city expands and contracts, new developments are born, and older structures give way to the future, reshaping the environment and influencing the energy of the city. Cities are constantly evolving, always growing, changing, and adapting to the needs of its people. New infrastructure takes shape, while old roads are repurposed for new purposes. Skyscrapers reach higher, and city planners work tirelessly to create spaces that support commerce, transportation, and culture. The modern city is a marvel of human ingenuity, combining innovation with tradition, technology with community. It's not just about the buildings, it's about the people. The architects, engineers, workers, families, and children who live, breathe, and thrive in these environments. The city may be a symbol of human civilization, but the natural world surrounding it provides the grounding that is so essential to our survival. As we leave the city behind and begin our journey over rolling hills and vast stretches of land, you will see a different kind of beauty. Look at the sprawling landscape of lush forests, winding rivers, and distant mountains that stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time. These natural wonders provide the foundation for life on Earth, offering a perfect balance to the artificial structures created by mankind. Now let's leave the city behind and soar above some of the world's most majestic mountains. These towering giants stand tall, silent, and unmovable, their peaks piercing the sky like ancient sentinels. The air is crisp, and the landscapes below are dotted with jagged rocks and sweeping valleys. From up here, you can appreciate just how vast the world really is. The rivers snake through the valleys, carving their own path, while forests stretch as far as the eye can see. The vastness of these landscapes makes you feel small, but in a good way, like you're part of something much bigger than yourself. The mountain ranges before us are monumental, with their snow-capped peaks piercing the sky. As we fly over them, notice how the sunlight casts long shadows, accentuating the ruggedness of the terrain below. The cliffs are sharp and jagged, while the valleys are lush and green, creating a breathtaking contrast between the harsh and the serene. Every time you glance downward, you witness a different view of this awe-inspiring landscape, making it clear that nature is as diverse as it is beautiful. These majestic giants stand tall and silent, having watched over the world for millions of years. As the sun casts its light across the mountain ranges, notice how the shadows create new shapes, new patterns across the land. The snow-capped peaks glisten in the light, while the forests below provide a sea of green. It's hard not to feel awestruck when you see the sheer size of these natural wonders. These mountains have stood here for centuries, unchanged by time, yet always evolving with every passing season. The trees at the foot of the mountains sway gently in the wind, while the rivers that wind through the valleys seem to move with a quiet purpose, carving their paths through the landscape. As we continue our journey, we leave the mountains behind and venture over the oceans. Below us, the vast expanse of water stretches as far as the eye can see. The oceans, home to an incredible diversity of life, seem endless from this height. From here, you can see the gentle ripples of the water, the ever-changing colors that reflect the sky, and the constant movement of currents beneath the surface. The oceans are the lifeblood of our planet, covering more than 70% of its surface, and they are just as dynamic as the cities and landscapes we've already seen. They are constantly shifting, pulsing with the rhythms of the earth. But as we soar above, they seem calm, tranquil, serene, and almost hypnotic. The deep blues and greens of the oceans below are mesmerizing, and you can see how the water reflects the light, creating shimmering patterns on the surface. These patterns are constantly changing, like living paintings that shift with the wind and waves. The reflection of the sky above blends with the sea below, creating a seamless connection between the two, blurring the line between air and water. The oceans provide the perfect contrast to the harsh, jagged mountain peaks we saw earlier. Where the mountains are firm and unyielding, the oceans are fluid and adaptable, shifting with the tides, constantly in motion. It's a reminder that our planet is alive, a living system of interconnected elements that work together to sustain life. As we pass over vast stretches of ocean, keep an eye out for the small islands that dot the water's surface. These islands, often lush with vegetation and surrounded by vibrant coral reefs, serve as vital ecosystems, teeming with life. The coral reefs, visible beneath the surface, are some of the most diverse ecosystems on the planet. They are home to thousands of species of marine life, from tiny fish to massive sea turtles. As we fly above, we can see the contrast between the clear blue waters and the colorful coral below, creating an incredibly vibrant scene that looks like a painting come to life. But the ocean isn't just a tranquil, peaceful place. It's full of mystery and wonder. Beneath the surface, countless species of animals live in the depths, some of them still largely unknown to scientists. The oceans are vast, covering the majority of the Earth's surface, and there's so much more beneath the waves than we could ever imagine. From the schools of fish that move in perfect synchrony to the massive whales that travel across the globe, the ocean is home to an entire world that we can only begin to understand. As we continue our flight, we move from the deep blue ocean to the lush, green forests of the world. From up here, you can see the vastness of the forests, stretching across continents, covering mountains, and flowing through valleys. The trees, with their thick canopies, create a dense blanket of green that seems to go on forever. These forests are the lungs of the earth, providing the oxygen we breathe, regulating the climate, and supporting an incredible array of wildlife. The forest floor, though hidden from view, is just as vibrant with life, home to creatures of all sizes, from the smallest insects to large mammals. The contrast between the vastness of the oceans and the dense, green forests is striking. The oceans are expansive, open, and boundless, while the forests are thick, full of life, and teeming with energy. The trees grow in a quiet symphony, reaching toward the sky as if in a constant search for the sun. Below, rivers snake through the forests, cutting through the landscape and providing the water needed to sustain life. These rivers are the arteries of the forest, carrying nutrients, energy, and life throughout the ecosystem. As we soar over the treetops, the sheer scale of the forests becomes clear. These forests are not just beautiful, they are essential to the health of our planet. As we move further into the heart of the forest, notice how the landscape changes. The trees grow taller, denser, and more diverse as we head deeper into the wilderness. Some areas are dominated by towering redwoods, while others are filled with thick jungle vines. The variety of trees and plants is remarkable, with each species playing a vital role in the ecosystem. These forests are living entities, constantly evolving and adapting to the changing environment. They provide shelter for countless species of wildlife, from birds to mammals to insects. The forest is a sanctuary for these creatures, offering them food, protection, and a place to thrive. The sounds of the forest are almost silent from up here, but beneath the canopy, it's a completely different world. The air is thick with the calls of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the hum of insects. Every step in the forest is part of a larger, intricate web of life, a network of interactions that sustain the entire ecosystem. The trees reach upward, while the animals move beneath them, constantly adapting to their surroundings. The forest is both beautiful and fragile, an environment that requires protection and care. As we move on, we will continue to explore the diverse landscapes of our planet, from the deep blues of the ocean to the rich greens of the forests. Stay with us as we continue our journey across this magnificent world, exploring the natural wonders that make our planet so unique and vibrant. From the air, the world unveils itself in its magnificent, intricate complexity. As we've already seen, cities are hubs of human civilization, bustling with activity, energy, and life. But there's another side to our planet that is just as powerful and impactful: the natural landscapes that surround, contrast, and complement urban areas. The contrast between cities and the wild beauty of nature highlights a delicate balance that allows both to exist harmoniously as we continue our journey across the globe. Look closely as we glide above a major metropolitan area nestled by the sea. The sprawling cityscape is full of life and energy, its highways and high-rise buildings seeming like a hive of industry. But beyond the steel structures and concrete roads, the vast, endless ocean stretches out before us. The shoreline is a point of convergence where urban development meets nature's infinite horizon. From this height, we see how humans have created settlements on land that is constantly reshaped by the ocean's tides and winds. Along the coastlines, the sand beaches are bordered by beautiful coral reefs, their colorful marine life creating a delicate ecosystem below the surface. The city may seem like a world apart from this aquatic paradise, but in reality, both the ocean and urban centers are interconnected. Oceans provide food, regulate the climate, and supply vital resources. This interdependence is a reminder that nature is not something separate from our cities. It is an integral part of them, sustaining the life that flourishes in urban spaces. Even amidst all the infrastructure and development, nature's influence remains in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the beauty we experience. The view shifts as we move away from the sea and soar toward mountainous regions. Here, cities are built into the hillsides, taking advantage of the natural terrain. The roads wind around steep inclines, following the contours of the land, while buildings cling to the sides of cliffs like nests perched precariously above the world below. It's a testament to human ingenuity, how we've adapted to even the most challenging landscapes. These mountainous cities often face the challenge of preserving their natural beauty while accommodating growing populations. Take a moment to appreciate the complexity of these landscapes. From the bustling, concrete jungle of cities to the quiet, serene hillsides, every landscape tells a story of adaptation. It is awe-inspiring to think that these cities, with their lights, technology, and modern infrastructure, exist in such close proximity to raw, unaltered nature. The mountains, rivers, and forests around them have shaped the cities, just as much as the people who live within them have shaped the land. It's a constant give and take, a balancing act that has been happening for centuries, and it will continue for years to come. Now, let's venture into the heart of a city itself. The dense network of streets, parks, and highways reveals a different kind of complexity. From the air, we see how every building, every park, every road serves a purpose, working in tandem with the other elements to create a system that functions efficiently. It's impressive how these urban spaces have been designed with such foresight, blending in some cases with the natural surroundings. For example, urban parks serve as green lungs, providing a place for people to connect with nature amidst the hustle and bustle of daily life. These green spaces serve as much-needed refuges for both people and wildlife, offering moments of peace and quiet amid the urban chaos. It's also remarkable how modern cities are incorporating more sustainable practices. From green roofs that help absorb carbon dioxide to solar panels that power buildings with renewable energy, many urban areas are striving to reduce their environmental impact. This reflects an understanding that cities cannot thrive without a healthy environment. By working to make our cities more sustainable, we are ensuring that future generations will have access to the resources they need to live comfortably. Cities are no longer just about expansion. They are about adapting to the challenges of a changing world. But the influence of nature on cities doesn't stop there. Have you ever noticed how cities often mimic the natural world in their designs? Take the example of city planning. Just as forests have trees and plants that interact with each other to form a balanced ecosystem, so too do cities have systems of roads, infrastructure, and services that interact to form a balanced urban ecosystem. The circular flow of traffic, the placement of public transportation routes, and the careful design of public spaces all contribute to the functioning of the city. Like an ecosystem, the city must be constantly monitored and adjusted to keep it thriving. While cities grow and expand, nature always finds a way to make its presence felt. As cities expand outward, they encounter natural environments that often must be altered or preserved. The decision to build in certain areas, to clear forests, or to preserve green spaces becomes a critical question that impacts not just the environment, but the people who live there. The presence of parks, rivers, and forests within urban settings reminds us that no matter how advanced human civilization becomes, we will always remain part of the natural world. It is an interconnected system, and it is up to us to ensure that both the natural world and human civilization continue to flourish together. As we move further in our exploration of cities and landscapes, we come across areas where nature has woven itself into the very fabric of the urban environment. In many cities, you'll find tree-lined streets, gardens in the middle of business districts, and even nature reserves in the heart of the city. These urban oases serve as powerful reminders that nature is not something that exists outside of human life. It is part of it. These green spaces provide not only an aesthetic break from the concrete and steel of the urban environment, but also vital ecological services, such as cleaning the air, absorbing rainfall, and providing habitats for wildlife. By now, we've seen how cities and nature are intertwined. As we continue this journey, it's clear that the blend of human civilization and the natural world is not a simple juxtaposition, but a deeply interdependent relationship. Cities shape the land, and the land shapes cities. The modern world is a delicate dance between development and conservation, and it is something we must navigate carefully to ensure the health and longevity of both our cities and our planet. The future of our urban environments relies on our ability to coexist with nature, preserving the balance that allows both to thrive. As our exploration of cities and nature continues, we find ourselves diving deeper into one of the most pressing issues of the modern world: sustainability. As urban populations grow and technology advances, cities must adapt to new challenges. The relationship between human civilization and nature is becoming increasingly vital as the demands on both our resources and our environment intensify. But there's a silver lining. Many cities around the world are embracing new, innovative ways to reduce their environmental impact and create more sustainable, livable spaces. Modern cities are finding that the key to surviving and thriving in an increasingly crowded and changing world lies in sustainable urban planning. What does that mean? It's the careful consideration of how cities can grow without depleting the natural resources around them. It's about creating systems that use resources efficiently, reduce waste, and ensure that future generations have the same opportunities to live in thriving, healthy environments. Urban sustainability isn't just about building green spaces. It's about creating a comprehensive vision for how to integrate natural systems into every facet of city life. One of the most exciting advancements in sustainable urban design is the rise of smart cities. These cities use technology to monitor and optimize the use of resources in real time, making them more energy efficient, environmentally friendly, and responsive to the needs of the people who live there. Smart cities use sensors, data analytics, and artificial intelligence to improve everything from traffic flow and waste management to energy consumption and pollution control. The goal is to create cities that are not only livable but also resilient, adaptable to future challenges, and capable of minimizing their environmental impact. Take, for example, the use of renewable energy in urban centers. Solar panels, wind turbines, and other renewable energy sources are being integrated into the infrastructure of cities, helping to power homes, businesses, and even public transportation systems with clean, sustainable energy. Cities like Copenhagen, for instance, have set ambitious goals to become carbon neutral by 2025, and other cities are following suit. This shift towards renewable energy isn't just about reducing dependence on fossil fuels. It's about creating a new, cleaner, and more sustainable model for urban living. Equally important in the move towards sustainable cities is the concept of green buildings. These buildings are designed with sustainability at the forefront, incorporating features like energy-efficient insulation, solar panels, rainwater harvesting systems, and eco-friendly materials. Green buildings not only help reduce a city's carbon footprint, but also create healthier, more comfortable spaces for people to live and work. Cities like New York and Singapore are leading the way in the construction of green buildings, setting new standards for energy-efficient design and sustainable urban development. One of the challenges of modern urban living is the need for efficient transportation systems. As cities grow, traffic congestion becomes a major issue, not just for commuters but for the environment as well. Vehicles that run on fossil fuels are a major contributor to air pollution and climate change. To combat this, cities are investing in cleaner, greener transportation options. Electric vehicles, EVs, are becoming more common on city streets, and public transportation systems are being upgraded to be more efficient and sustainable. Bike-sharing programs, electric buses, and pedestrian-friendly streets are all part of a larger effort to reduce the environmental impact of urban transportation and make cities more walkable and accessible. In addition to green transportation and energy-efficient buildings, cities are also focusing on sustainable urban agriculture. Urban farming and community gardens are becoming an integral part of city life in many parts of the world. These initiatives allow residents to grow their own food, reduce their carbon footprint, and build a stronger connection with the land. Urban farming also provides fresh, healthy food for communities, reducing the need for transportation of food across long distances and promoting food security. In cities like Tokyo and Paris, vertical farming is gaining popularity as a way to grow food in small spaces, using hydroponics and other innovative techniques to produce crops without the need for soil. But sustainability isn't just about technology and infrastructure, it's also about people. The success of any sustainable urban initiative relies on the engagement and participation of the community. Public awareness campaigns, educational programs, and local initiatives are all part of the effort to build a culture of sustainability within cities. People need to be empowered to make environmentally conscious choices in their everyday lives, whether it's reducing waste, conserving water, or using public transportation instead of driving. As we explore more of the world's cities, we see that sustainability is not just an abstract concept, it is a tangible, achievable goal. Whether through renewable energy, green buildings, smart transportation, or urban farming, cities are finding creative ways to live in harmony with nature. The key to this future lies in the balance between urban development and environmental stewardship, ensuring that the progress of human civilization doesn't come at the cost of the planet's health. The integration of sustainable practices into the fabric of urban life will ultimately determine the quality of life for generations to come, and cities are the proving grounds for how this can be done successfully. As we move into the future, the question becomes not just how cities will grow, but how they will evolve to meet the needs of an ever-changing world. While the journey of urban development has been filled with both triumphs and challenges, the road ahead promises even greater innovations, unforeseen obstacles, and incredible opportunities. What will the cities of tomorrow look like, and how will they function in an increasingly interconnected and complex world? The possibilities are endless, and the direction in which cities will evolve is as dynamic and diverse as the people who live in them. One of the most significant trends shaping the future of cities is the rise of digital technology and its integration into every aspect of urban life. Cities are becoming smarter, using data and technology to optimize how resources are used, manage traffic flow, reduce pollution, and even predict and respond to emergencies. Through the use of sensors, artificial intelligence, and big data, cities will be able to function more efficiently, anticipate problems before they arise, and provide a higher quality of life for residents. Finally, as we look toward the future of cities, we must consider the role of nature in shaping urban environments. While technological innovation will play a significant role in the development of smart cities, nature will continue to be an essential part of urban life. Green spaces, natural reserves, and sustainable agriculture will remain crucial for ensuring the health and well-being of city dwellers. The future of cities lies in the ability to balance the built environment with the natural world, creating urban spaces that are not only technologically advanced, but also ecologically responsible and human-centered. The journey of urban evolution is one that continues to unfold before our eyes. As we look to the future, cities will remain the epicenter of human innovation, creativity, and resilience. They will be shaped by the challenges we face and the solutions we create. By embracing sustainability, inclusion, and technological innovation, the cities of tomorrow can become more than just places to live. They can become thriving ecosystems where people, nature, and technology coexist in harmony.